Good evening, everyone. We'll get going in about 10 minutes. Around 10 after 7, we'll try and get our drinks together now, get a little bite to eat, and then we'll come to the tables for around 10 after 7. Hey everyone, we'll get together now at the tables. Maybe 2-minute warning, get your last beverage, get ready for a fun evening of awesomeness. We'll see you shortly. Good evening, everybody. I was wondering if we can get a round of applause for Nulibeth Ortiz. Lovely, lovely music tonight. So Nulibeth is honored to perform on the 1993 Mugino cello. Did I say that right? Mugino cello, made by Leon Mugino Gauche. This prestige instrument was donated by the Memorial University of Newfoundland School of Music by the estate of Rita Love. Wonderful job. Thank you so much. Before we get going, we will do our land acknowledgement. We would like to acknowledge that the lands on which Memorial University's campuses are situated are in the traditional territories of diverse Indigenous groups, and we acknowledge with respect the diverse histories and cultures of the Beothuk, Mi'kmaq, Innu, and Inuit of this province. Welcome. We're gonna have a great night. I got my glasses off. I can't see any of you. This is wonderful, so I can read this. We're going to have a great night. My name is Dean McIsaac. I am the A Success Manager of the Enterprise Program, from which we are celebrating graduates tonight. Thank you for being here on a lovely, sunny Tuesday night, forgetting what time of year it is. A little bit about the agenda. So we're going to have some speakers come up, give their thanks, have a few welcomes. Then we'll get right to the ceremony. We'll get the grads up here. We'll talk to them. We'll learn from them. It's going to be really great. We're going to have a wonderful evening. But to get started, a few questions for the audience. Last year didn't really get to talk to you guys much. I want to learn more about you guys. I'm a little more comfortable here now, so let's make you guys uncomfortable. We get the minister at the beginning. We're going to pick on some people here. So how many people have been to a Genesis grad before? Show of hands. Besides Michelle. Not that many. Awesome. So a lot of new faces. Excellent. Lots of people to pick on. Does anyone know what the Genesis mission is? No one that works at Genesis, obviously. What's the mission of Genesis? To build great companies, said by one of our founders who is building a great company. Perfect. Excellent. Does anyone know how long Genesis has been in operation? This should be really obvious. We did a lot of work on this last year. Anyone, come on. 25 plus since 1997. Two correct answers. Thank you. We get high fives for these two individuals right here. 26 years. That's a long time of incubating amazing companies. Any idea how many jobs I'm going to keep moving over here so I can see everyone. Any idea how many jobs have been created from Genesis enterprise companies over a 26-year period? And just throw a wild guess out there. Anybody? 20,000. I love your attitude. No. Thank you, though. Yes, throw a number. So 2,500 jobs in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador, thanks to the companies that come out of the enterprise program. That's amazing. 2,500 jobs. That is bigger than a lot of companies that we have in Newfoundland. That's wonderful. How much revenue have the companies that have graduated and not even graduated from Genesis Enterprise? How many dollars in revenue do you think that they've created over the years in revenue? Now we can take a big stab at this one. Throw a big number out for this one. Anybody? I'm just going to stay silent. 30 million. Way higher. Way higher. Thank you, though. Over $250 million in annual recurring revenues from our companies. $250 million in Newfoundland. That's amazing. Round of applause. Thank you. So from those same companies, of all the companies we've had come through our programming, how much investment do you think that we've attracted to the province of Newfoundland and Labrador? More than $250 million. Over $680 million coming to our province through these amazing companies. So thank you for playing the game, for the three of you that did. But, just it's a celebration of that, and we're going to continue to build those things. These companies that are graduating today are going to bring more revenue, more jobs, more investment to the province. It's wonderful. It's so exciting to be part of this community, to be celebrating these companies. So to get things formally going, I'd like to introduce, for some greetings, the Honorable Andrew Parsons, Minister of Industry, Energy, and Technology.
I'm not good with the hands. I drop stuff.
All right.
Well, good evening, everybody. Holy jeez, they are quite a crowd. Eh?
Tough crowd, right?
They're a tough crowd. It is a pleasure to be here with you this evening. And I got this really nice speech written up in front of me here. And as I traditionally and generally do, I'm not going to read it because, I'll try my best to wing it here. I just, first of all, want to thank you for the invitation. I think it was just around last year. And this is why I knew this answer. It was 25 years last year. We were at the room celebrating the 25th anniversary. So that's why I knew the answer. I was trying to get Michelle to make sure my recollection was correct. And she was like, no, I'm not telling you any answers here now. She was not ruining the game. But Genesis does so much. In fact, I was just at a meeting prior to this. And they said, well, where are you going after? And I was trying. I didn't know the Genesis mission, but I was explaining to some people that didn't know what Genesis does, what Genesis creates and throws out there into this province and then beyond. And it's wins. It's nothing but wins. When you look at the numbers that were referenced here in terms of jobs and investment and the different companies, again, this starts here. So I want to send a big thank you and congratulations to Genesis, to Michelle, and all the team that are part of this great endeavor here. To all the graduates, and I'm gonna say now, I'm gonna try Notification API, Nucleic Biologics, North Star, SIFMed, Milksta, and Prosper. I spent all afternoon in the House of Assembly remembering that. That's the benefit of not having any questions. I could sit here and try to remember the names. But to all the graduates, and I've had the pleasure of meeting some in the past on my visits. Look, this is, in many ways, I guess the graduation is the end of one thing, but more importantly, and the thing that we need to look forward to, it's just a new beginning. And to me, it's onwards and upwards to all the graduates here. You've been working hard, you're going to continue to work hard, but the sky truly is the limit, and I believe that. My job, if there's a message for me to give to you on behalf of the province, is no matter where you go from here, we have your back. We are going to be there with you. We are going to work with you, not just myself, but I'm surrounded by an awesome group of people at Industry, Energy, and Technology. We want you to continue to have successes. I've said this a million times, it's starting to become like my catchphrase, but your wins are our wins. We celebrate everything that you do, and it reflects so well on our province, and you're sending a message out there into the community. I would be remiss if I didn't point out that I noticed a number of our founders and graduates here tonight are women, and as the dad of a grade 4 girl, actually going through picture day today, that was really fun. What I will say is this: I love the idea that my daughter or my son can go to school here, can graduate here, can live here, can create here, can have a great life here, can make money here, create jobs here. That wasn't always the story for Newfoundlanders and Labradorians. And the fact is that that is the story for this province, and it's you people, you folks, that are helping make that a reality for everybody that comes behind you. So thank you for that. On that note, look, I commend you for the work that you've put into this. This truly, I know, has been a lot of hard work. I'm sure a lot of fun moments, the banging your fist on the desk moments. But you know what? Like anything, I bet there's a lot more positive than there was negative. There's going to be a lot more positive going forward. So thank you for the work that you've put in. Congratulations on this huge achievement, this huge success. And just know going forward that we're all there with you. We are one step behind you the entire way. I hope you have a wonderful night. Happy graduation, and thank you for letting me be here. Cheers.
Thank you so much, Minister. We truly love your participation and your involvement in everything that we do, so thank you for that. I would now like to invite Dave Boland, Vice President, Newfoundland and Labrador for the Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency.
Thank you for that, Dean, and thank you, Minister. I will not wing it nearly as much as you, but that's all part of the role. I'd like to say it's an absolute honor and pleasure to be here on behalf of ACOA tonight as we celebrate the latest 6 graduates from the Enterprise Program. It's incredible to see, you've listed off some of the numbers there that we see in terms of the success that Genesis has brought here to this province, and the number of jobs and the revenue that it's created. It's just been, it's a shining star. And we see that throughout Atlantic Canada. When we talk about our accelerators and incubators throughout the region, Genesis is always at the top of the list. And it's, hats off to Michelle, your entire team here, the work that you do, and the caliber of the companies that come through the program is just absolutely fantastic to see. We've been a partner with Genesis since the beginning, and couldn't be more proud of the work that they do, how we've seen the growth in the tech sector, how it supports the other sectors in our economy is just great to see, and a lot of that points back to Genesis. And for the graduating companies here tonight, when we look at the roster of companies that you can look at that Genesis would look back on, whether it's the MESAs, the Virtual Marines, Genoa, Verafin, like it's a long list, and they are the who's who when you look around the tech sector here today. And it's nothing but a shiny future for the graduates here tonight. And what is great about the way Genesis does what they do is the graduates and the support they provide to those who are going through the programs. It's just such a rich environment, which is just absolutely great to see. I also have a couple of daughters, one in grade 9, one in grade 7, and I think someone said here earlier, 4 out of the 6 companies here this evening have women founders or co-founders, and that's just incredible, and it's inspiring, and look forward to seeing more of that momentum as we go forward. So my sincere congratulations to the 6 companies here this evening. I'm sure the path has not been easy. It never is. But the experience is always rich, and hopefully at the end of the day it all pays off, and we see that in the companies that are graduating here this evening. So my hat's off to you, my hat's off to the entire team at Genesis, and thank you all for bearing with me, and thanks for inviting me here this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. And again, from Genesis, thank you and ACOA for all that you do for us and for all the founders. Without you guys around, there's a lot of barriers that would be put up, so thank you. Next, I would like to introduce the person who puts the cheer in the leader of our team, Michelle. Michelle Sims, CEO of Genesis.
Thank you, Dean. I feel like I need to start with a little bit of a clarification. So earlier in the quiz, we talked about Genesis being founded in 1997. Genesis was actually founded in 1988 as Seabright Corporation, and it renamed itself in 1997, which is when the incubator officially opened. So for 26 years, we've been incubating companies. Prior to that, we were the university's technology transfer office. So I feel like I did need to clarify that a little bit. First of all, welcome everyone, and thank you so much for coming. It is so exciting to see a full room here to celebrate our graduates. We have 6 incredible companies graduating. As people have said earlier, 4 of those 6 are women founders. We have done a lot of work on diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. And I see Laura in front of me. Laura in particular in the last couple of years have done an incredible amount of work in that area. And it is so exciting to see 4 of the 6 companies that are graduating tonight be women founders. We have also been focused on how do we recruit more, how do we get that pipeline filled. So, as you walk away from here today, if you see women that you think are incredible, doing incredible things, have incredible ideas, and don't really know where to go to get the support, please send them our way. Also, MCE, which is the Center for Entrepreneurship at Memorial University, is doing great work. So if they're a student, send them there first. And we're all eager to support and work with more women founders. For those of you in the room who don't realize and don't know why we're focusing so heavily on women founders, it's because they don't generally, there's not as many women founders in Canada and the United States as there are men. I think only 2% of the investment and from private investment in North America goes towards women-founded companies, and we need to change that. And in order to solve the world's biggest problems, we need the entire population and a representation of the entire population focused on that. And so it's so important that we place emphasis on that. So thank you for that. I do have a couple of thank yous that I need to look at my notes for, because otherwise I'm going to forget people. Particularly around the work that we do in diversity, equity, and inclusion. I want to thank NASDAQ, the Fry Family Foundation, and the BDC. They enable us to do the work that we do in that area. I also want to acknowledge our second-time graduate. Unfortunately, he's not here tonight, but Sahan Saifi with Notification API has been through our program twice now. He joins a growing list of second-time founders through the Genesis Enterprise program, and so we're really excited to have been able to work with Sahan a second time, for sure. For those of you who don't know, his first company through the Genesis program was Heyorka. And also, they say it takes a village to raise a startup, and as people in the room that spoke before me can attest, there's ACOA and the province, Memorial University, College of the North Atlantic, the City of St. John's. There are so many people that touch startups along the way. There's CDL, places and programs like CDL and Volta and Propel and so on and so forth. And so without all of those programs and all of those supports, the startups would really struggle to get a foothold in the market and building and strengthening their companies. In particular, I want to thank ACOA, the province, Memorial University, the City of St. John's, ExxonMobil, HMDC, Cox & Palmer, and BDO. Those organizations enable us to do the work that we do, support us in working with the founders, and really help us to grow the startup community in this province. At Genesis, one of our core values is community, and tonight there are so many entrepreneurs in this room, so it's great to see them mixing in the community with, you know, politicians and university people and government people, and you know, I see Florian back there from Tech NL, so it's so great to see the community coming together to support these entrepreneurs. And I'll finish off with something I think the minister alluded to, but in Brad Feld's book, Startup Communities, if you haven't read it, you should. But he says building a startup community is not a zero-sum game in which there are winners and losers. If everyone engages, they and the entire community will all be winners. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Wonderfully said, as usual. So now we're going to get to the good part, the fun part. I'd like to invite Lisa Brown, Vice President of Advancement and External Relations and Interim Vice President of Administration and Finance for Memorial University, to present each founder with their company's graduation plaque. I do have to say, if it wasn't for Lisa, I wouldn't be here right now. It sounds really dire, but Lisa took a chance on me when I was a young man and brought me to St. John's. She's the reason I'm standing here today, so thank you for that, Lisa. She saved my life from Labrador. So Lisa, please come up. So we will start with Leanne Delos Reyes of Milksta. Milksta strives to empower 1 million mothers to embrace their transformation into motherhood and encourage them to celebrate the natural biological norms of being a mama through natural lactogenic drinks for new mothers. Congratulations, Leanne. You can just grab a seat. You can lay it on. I know you want to take your plaque everywhere you go, right? Have a seat anywhere. Next, we have Leah Murphy, founder and CEO of North Star Payroll. North Star Payroll offers a cloud-based payroll processing software designed to simplify the payroll process tailored to the customer's needs, using their process automation to move payroll function from a transactional to a strategic plan within your company. Congratulations, Leah. Next, we have Dr. Mohammed Asadi, co-founder of Notification API. Together with Sahan, they've created a new category of offerings, notification as a service. It's a solution that allows software development teams to add notifications to their apps in 10 minutes. Congratulations, Mo. Next, we have this wonderful team of doctors Nikita Kandaya and Purvi, I'm just going to say Purvi Paligar. Sorry, Purvi, I can't say your whole name. They're the sweetest co-founder couple you will ever meet. So they've co-founded Nuclic Biologics, developing microbiome-based personalized therapeutics and diagnostics. GutCheck is Canada's most comprehensive gut health report with over $160,000 in sales in their first year of launching. Congratulations, guys. Next up, we have Jonathan Young and Colin Hunt, co-founders of Prosper. Come on up, guys. With Prosper, you get instant personalized meal plans with the Prosper Meal Plan Generator. You can track macros, you can fit in treats, automate your grocery list, and more. And the impact is real. One of their users actually said they've lost 60 pounds just through using that app. Congratulations, guys. Just hold on that. Thank you. And last but not least, we have Holly Hill, co-founder and CEO of SIFMed. SIFMed has developed an intelligent document processing platform that's designed to automatically organize medical files for personal injury practices. This helps legal assistants, paralegals, and lawyers quickly and accurately find all the facts in medical evidence cases. Congratulations, Holly. Big round of applause for everyone. Come on, let them know you care. You guys grab the mics up front. So this is a fun part. We get to ask some questions now. And if you guys have questions, please don't be afraid to raise your hand. We might get to those as well. Let you guys choose who wants to go first, but what do you think the biggest challenge you had to overcome was when you started your company, or right up until the time you're at now? Just getting right into this really deep. What was the hard stuff? What's something you really had to struggle with? We're not gonna, no fluff here.
Okay.
Nikki?
Yeah. I think that's the biggest challenge to answer that question as, hello.
Mic check.
Hello.
Yep.
Can you hear me? Yeah. So yeah, there have been many challenges over a period of time, I think, but the biggest challenge was to identify and figure out how we were going to do this, as it was just an idea, and it was a biotech company, and executing that and transitioning from a student and a researcher to an entrepreneur was a challenge for us. But I think once that transition happened, I think we made a lot of, I think we just passed through many hurdles. But that itself was the biggest challenge on my side, yeah.
Thank you, Nikki. Anyone else have an opinion or a thought?
For me, the biggest challenge to working with her.
Oh, shots fired. Leanne.
I can go next.
Sweetest couple redacted.
Hello? Yes, can you hear me? So I can go next. For Milksta, I'm not sure if everyone knows that our market are breastfeeding mothers. So navigating through a very controversial niche, and to some people it's taboo, it's very difficult. First and foremost, like people asking, why didn't you spend on ads or anything? Why didn't you market right away? Because we tried our best to put up ads. Facebook would take us down because whenever they see something like, boobs, and the name of our product is Booby Latte. So when Facebook like basically captures the name Booby, they just like, no, reject. Even on Amazon, when we were trying to like run ads, they always, I think, if I could count, it's more than 10 times that Amazon took down our listings because that's selling sexual product, but we are not. So that's one of the biggest challenges, basically, of like trying to create a product that I think it's something that of course I'm very passionate about, and I think that's really needed by mothers, and everyone was just like trying to take it down.
Thank you, Leanne.
I don't know how I'm going to top boobies, but navigating the space, like navigating, like building a company. North Star Payroll is actually my second company. My first one was as a consultant. Whole different ballgame, whole different story. So navigating like the funding space and building your team and your supports and customer acquisition and all that stuff was just, you're kind of thrown out there, when you're building this company, which is where, the support from Genesis, really comes in. And it's nothing about it is easy building a company, but at least you have people who are kind of like walking that path with you. You have your fellow founders who are kind of like going through the same trenches that you are, like, maybe telling a different story. But so funding, like navigating all that space was really difficult.
Thank you.
I'm going to add on to that because I think that part was really helpful to have so many people around that supported us. I think the hardest part was convincing yourself you could do it. And being like, I'm going to fail probably. I'm definitely going to fail. This is not going to go anywhere. You're just going to, it's going to fall. And there was too many supports to let it happen. But I think the hardest part was convincing myself that let's go do this. Let's build it. And it's actually going to be something.
I think not necessarily super company related, but as a first-time founder, from a founder journey perspective, One of the most difficult things was not getting caught up in your performance in the last week, in the last month, and instead trying to zoom out and look at things from kind of like a bird's eye view, and so you can actually see how far you've come and how much growth you've had, and how that graph actually starts looking pretty good, and that little bump doesn't necessarily mean that things are turning sour or something like that. It's, you know, it's about how far you've come and how much potential you have left in the tank. And then another thing would be balancing between keeping your mind open and being ready to accept new information, but also at the same time being rigid in what you believe about your company and where you're taking it, and kind of sticking true to your goals and making sure you don't get too distracted by all these things when people are trying to help, but sometimes they might be distracting you from what you need to be doing.
Thank you. Mo?
Yeah, for us was developers are different creatures. They are. I'm a developer, and I know it's hard to convince them to use a new thing, a thing that hasn't been out there. And you cannot reach them by ads. They hide themselves from ads. And yeah, so we have been patient and like find the new ways to convince them, to find them, where are they? And still it's the challenge, and every day we are thinking about it, we are talking about it in our meetings. Yeah, that's our big challenge.
So, Mo, I'll stay with you with this question. How did you know when you, what was the moment where you said, I think we're really onto something neat, or something that's going to have impact or power to it? You know, what was that moment like for you?
One day, Sahan, my co-founder, was checking the database, and we realized that during the last months we were sending out more than 1 million notifications. It was in the first year. And we realized that this is working.
A million notifications.
Yeah, in the
That
first
is
year,
amazing.
yeah, first 6 months, yeah.
Anybody else? When did you know you had something?
I would say for us, it's probably when we got some of our first like really good reviews. You know, I mean, you get some pretty hilarious 1-star reviews as well, but yeah, definitely getting some 5-star reviews and ones that are actually give detailed reviews.
Is there one that sticks out for you in particular? There's got to be one.
There
that's
is
just
one, yeah. Actually, I think you probably remember that one. We sent it to you at the time, and I think you shared it with a few people. I can't remember exactly in
Please
detail.
don't
but
ask me to remember that right now.
Someone who had been using it for over a year at the time, I think they said they lost like 60 pounds or something. So we do the nutrition meal plan in case you're forgetting who we are. But
Okay,
yeah,
that was the one I
something like
referenced.
that.
Excellent. I do know. Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
For me, so what I do is payroll. Calm down, it is fascinating. So in our early days, kind of building our team, we had a strategy session, and one of our new team members, he was brand new to North Star. He was a new developer. So during the course of the day, you know, we went through everything, and I kind of was presenting like the mission, the vision, you know, going through strategy stuff. And when he left, he said to me, he was like, I didn't really hear of North Star before. I didn't really know what to think. He was like, I think I like payroll now. And I was like, success.
So you've got one.
Oh, there's more than one, Dean.
Thank you.
So for us, it was during the R&D when we were trying to figure out and trying to pull everything together, whether it was in terms of data analysis and the sample processing and everything. And that was ongoing, but then the outcome and the execution of it and the outcome, how it will turn out and how we are going to really help, or how is it going to show the impact was the question. So, but when we had the interaction with the people simultaneously, when we were getting the samples, it was this person who just told us that I was just pre-diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, and then we know the data, what's happening. So we saw that in that the disease risk was showing that this person is trending towards having a rheumatoid arthritis. But this person didn't know that we had that result. So that was something which we could see that this is something which could have a good impact and in various ways. And that was the start. And we are seeing a very good response from the customers in various ways, whether it is their sleep impairment issues or whether it's their gas trouble or the constipation or whatever it is. But they are able to connect the dots and able to solve the issues using the food and the diet through gut check. So which is so that's the impact.
I love that.
I'll go next. So for us, despite the fact that we were not able to, run too much ads as much as we want, like do the marketing that we want, the name Booby Latte actually came from our customers. So there was a time that, I wasn't expecting that it would really sell. So we were out of stock for 3 to 4 months. And we have customers that are messaging, even husbands of the moms, like, where's the Booby Latte? Where's the Booby Latte? It's like, oh my God. When we relaunched after 3 to 4 months of out of stock, the name of the product is Booby Latte. And that's when I thought, like, okay, people are looking for it, sometimes even husbands of the moms that are using it, because they said, my wife is getting crazy if she doesn't drink it. I need it, I'm going to buy it when it gets back in stock. So I think that's the time that I realized that I'm onto something.
Awesome. You got to love that when your customer names your product for you. Fantastic. Different question, maybe. Wondering, for anyone, what was your biggest takeaway from your time with the Genesis programming? Right from, if you started right at Evolution through Evolution Plus into Enterprise, what were some of the bigger takeaways you got from participating with all the other founders, working with the staff?
I think knowing it's a lonely island when you're doing this sometimes. It is very lonely. I think that's what I tell my investors, like some of them are in the audience, and my comments all the time is, it's so lonely doing this. And then I think what was really nice was that having the Genesis Center felt like you had a family around you, of people that were just, no matter what, gonna have your back. They really wanted to see you succeed. Whenever you needed, I'm having this random problem, I'd go to Andrew, I'd go to Dean, I'd go to all of you and say, any ideas? And so it was really nice to have a team of people before we had our own team of people. I think that's what I enjoyed the most, and now we have a team. All my team are in the back. And so it's nice that we got to that point, but prior to having that, it felt like we had a team of people that supported us.
Right from the day one, I still remember the day when Nikki pitched here for the Evolution program, and we won the first prize. That was the biggest push at that time, and since then till today, it's all about the helping hands we are getting. That's the biggest takeaway for us. There are people who want you to see the success, and those hands are the one which brought us here today, and they keep supporting, keep helping us, including Genesis and whole ecosystem. So it's believing yourself and taking help as required is one of the biggest takeaway for us.
Thank you. Notice how you slipped in that you won first prize, just subtle.
I think me and John would have built an app if there was no Genesis, but we wouldn't have built a company. And we probably wouldn't have even thought that was like an option. So not just the program going through the enterprise program, but also the outreach in earlier stages of your journey is really important as well. We were introduced to entrepreneurship through MCE, and then there was a path for us to move forward. Evolution was right there, and there was a great team running Evolution, and we got pretty into it, and we had a few different opportunities to get exposed to all different levels of startups, small, medium, and big. And even the Genesis community here provided jobs to us when we were in school, so there was some opportunity to even work at some of the Genesis companies. So seeing the whole thing top to bottom, I think turned our scrappy little idea into a business.
So can we steal that soundbite? I would have built an app, but not a company.
Yeah, you can run that in all your.
That like touched me in my soul. That was really good. Mohammed?
Yeah, for us, San has been here once before. He knew the value, and to be honest, at the beginning, I was like, had some question in my mind. Why should we join Genesis? But during the pandemic, we had some online meetings, the Connect meetings, and they were all co-founders, and we were talking about our problems. And there I was able to see that most of problems was like, if I have this problem, probably more other co-founders has the same. And just that, that type of meeting helped me a lot to realize the value of the Genesis, and also the support of the team was next level. Yeah.
Yeah, it can actually be really overwhelming starting the company, realizing how much there is to learn, how much you don't know, but then having like the entire team of Genesis, and not just the individual people who have been absolutely phenomenal, but like the credibility that it lends to the company when like going forward in the world, talking to investors, talking to government, talking to other places, and again navigating that whole thing. It's really overwhelming, like just what you don't know, but piece by piece, week by week, you kind of start, building up that knowledge, and then, learning from your fellow founders, and then passing it on. Anything that I've learned, I would tell anybody who will listen, like, hey, I figured this piece out. This might help you and benefit you. And I think that also, we're a part of a community, and Michelle, we're not going anywhere. Founders. But it's a good thing, because we're going to keep passing on the knowledge, learning from the people who went before us, and then passing it on to whoever's behind us as well.
Well, that's an amazing segue to my next question. Thank you for that. That was perfect. So if you look in the room, we've got a bunch of founders. And for anyone who might watch this on YouTube or in the future, I was hoping you could give the founders in the room and other founders that you're going to run into for the rest of your lives, what are the pieces of advice that you're going to give to those people right now so they can become like you?
Talk to people. That's a big thing, and easiest thing also, because talking helps. Exchanging ideas. I mean, for example, if you are talking with any fellow founder, the biggest thing is you are not alone what's going on in your company, right? They might be facing the same issue. So that helps when we are discussing that the different ways they are trying to solve it will help you as well, because by discussing that one. And at the same time, interacting with different people, different minds will boost up to your confidence, ideas, and it helps.
I'll go next. So it's a bit related to what Purvi said, like talking to people, but in our case, I would say it's more of talking to your customer and having the customer obsession mindset, which I honestly would say that I learned from Genesis Evolution. I remember when I did Evolution 3 years ago, you need to interview 80 people, which of course I did my homework. And until now, I still talk to like 3 of them, because they've been, 2 children, like 3rd babies, like all throughout, and I still talk to them. Because during the evolution, like, you need to know what your customer wants, what your customer needs, and you tailor your solution, basically your solution to their problem, and create a product out of that. And I think that's where the strength of Milksta is. When I started Milksta, I focused on one person and made that person love our product, and then move on to the second person. And we iterated, just a trivia. Milksta product has been iterated 9 times. It's because of through the feedback of these mothers that I'm talking to all the time. And the reason why they also love the product is, besides the product, I asked them, so what else can we do to serve you better? And they always recommend our product, through word of mouth, because they found that this company cares about mothers. This founder, this group of women cares about other women. So I think that's my biggest takeaway, and something that I would share, would impart, I think would be helpful to any other founder. Customer obsession, it will take you far.
Thank you.
I would say you have to be patient. Like, probably your friends gonna be graduated with you at the same time. They would go to like working in big companies, making a lot of monies. But if you love to create something, the reward worth it. after a while, you wake up every day and you constantly thinking, how can I make it better? How can I make something better? And that's the reward you will get at the end of the day.
We can see it in the smile on your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd say related to that too, I'd say to anyone, just go for it, right? I mean, you can probably accomplish more than what you think, and regardless, it's better to have tried and failed than never to have tried at all.
Spoken like a wise man.
I agree completely. What I was going to say was almost identical to what Mohammed said, so I'm going to keep it short. But essentially, choose something that you like to work on, and you better like it enough to work on it for free, because you might, and for a while.
Only thing I would add to from your comment is celebrating the milestones as you get them. It's a lot of like bumps, and it's tough, and you kind of have to stop and come back, and we do it every quarter, and just look back. And every quarter is when we finally sit back and look at what we did. You're such like a rat race and running that you kind of forget all the achievements you've done, and how much you've achieved last year and 2 years. And so stopping and looking back and like actually celebrating things. I think that's a really important thing to do if you're going to try and scale.
Yeah, I'll just add to it, saying that as founders, it's a lonely place, of course, but then you have to take care of yourself. If you are there, the company is there, so try to keep it together. Talk to fellow founders, they'll help so that you're not alone. So yeah, I would say take care of yourself. If you're running a company, it takes a lot, so yeah.
Yeah, that's close to what I was going to say as well. I love that we celebrate each other's wins and successes, and we absolutely should keep doing that. But also, nobody knows better the struggle of a founder than another founder. So I think while it's really hard to be vulnerable and say, hey, I'm really struggling with something, things are just not working this week, or I had this setback, I think it's really important to be vulnerable and kind of express that piece as well, because then other people who are doing the same thing you're doing are like, oh yeah, I feel like that sometimes too. And it's important to feel seen when you're up and when you're down as well.
Thank you so much. Round of applause, everyone, for amazing founders. So, I've been at Genesis almost 2 years now, so I spent a small part of my time with each of you, and I have to say on behalf of Genesis, we are grateful and we are thankful that you've been with us, and even though you're graduated, we know you're not going anywhere. So again, thanks to the founders. You guys can go back to your seats and stop being uncomfortable for a few seconds. Leave the mic. It's my job. So thanks again to all the founders, to the panel for their contributions. Thanks to everyone for showing up tonight and participating. Genesis appreciates you. We love that you're here. We love your support. A round of applause for the conference and event services team at Mira Innovation Exchange, and the catering staff at Red Oak, and again for Nuala Beth Ortiz and her wonderful music. So we're going to have a bit of a social event now, hang out, interact, network, as we should as founders. The graduates will be called by Genesis staff to get some photos taken down on B1 as the evening goes on. Other than that, thank you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for enjoying my bad jokes. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see the next founder round up here next year. Good night. Can we get all the founders to the front for one photo? All the founders who just graduated, up to the front, please, for one photo. Buy your plaques.